everybody, Tim Corcoran here again for our Tim Corcoran walks. Just gotta tell you something right now, okay? And these are gonna continue throughout the month and onward. I'm gonna make you really jealous. I just walked all over the back of our property through meadows and meadows of wildflowers, views of Mount Shasta, bear sign everywhere. Yep, we're keeping this place beautiful and wonderful for you. When this crazy virus is over, you can get back up here. I truly think I'm blessed to live on one of the most beautiful places in the world. I'm living my dream, it's come true. And I want you to know, don't ever give up on your dreams. You can have them. You can make them happen. I got this place when I was 37. I planned on it since I was a kid. You can do it. So visualize your dreams and start to do the work it takes to get them to happen, okay? Now, on these forest walks, I like to talk about the medicine of the land. You're looking at an incredible bark teepee right here, and there's another one right next to it. And these are kind of in a spot. God, if you go back on our land's history, you can see the mountain all the way from here. The trees have grown so big now. They're so happy here. But this bark teepee, all this bark has a story to tell. This bark was gathered by myself and my friends and my students countless years driving the old dirt roads of the mountains here, gathering up this bark, bringing it down in our old pickup, and every different class made a bark teepee. So everyone has a story, and the story is in the land. And then there's stories from the people who sleep in these teepees and have sat in them and been in them. It's just an incredible thing how the land holds story. So everything you do is important. The land remembers it. The land holds that story. As you can see down below here, this is an incredible space where the creek comes through. This creek, we enhanced this years ago, probably 20 years ago. It runs from the sweat lodge. It was an old creek bed. We fixed it up and let more water run in it. And now it's got stories to tell. I'm going to take you there in a moment, okay? And think about it for a minute, a bark teepee. The people that lived in these mountains and on the coast, think about Yosemite Valley. The Merced River was lined with bark teepees from the native peoples that lived on this land long before our ancestors came over and did the crazy thing of disrupting their lives. We owe it to them, to the native peoples, to treat the land sacredly and to remember them, because their spirit still is embedded in this land. Their stories, their memories, still here. I believe that with all parts of my being. I never forget them. And I always see them walking around too. So I'm going to back up this way now and I'm going to head towards the entrance to our camp, okay? I believe entranceways always, there has to be an entranceway, like a teepee or an archway or something to show transition. And since this is the entrance to our camp, follow me down the trail here. Another incredible bark teepee. I mean, some of this bark is from 1,000-year-old trees, guys. Think of the stories from the trees that's in the bark. That alone is mind-blowing. That alone. And I come around here, we have our favorite sign. Julie made it. Welcome to Headwaters. And I love this part of the sign here. No phones in camp. Think for a minute. I grew up at a time when we had no cell phones. You young people today, you never get to have that, what I had. I really, really believe there's times when you need to go into nature and never take a device with you. Not even turning it off. Don't even take it with you. Learn what it's like not to always have them. You'll find you'll learn a whole lot. Entranceways are transition places. They take us from one world to another. When I designed this camp, I designed it where our house was up here, our gardens, our buildings, our food storage, our garage, all of the functional things. Beautiful, beautiful. Then we transition into the camp itself. And then from there we transition into the wilderness, in the wilder lands. So there's a change when we walk through this archway. And you can feel it, so come with me. And as we walk down, there's some stories to tell you. First, as you pan here, right over to here, you'll see this little pond, entrance pond. Now, I remember a day when this pond had no trees around it, and you could see the mountain from here. This pond was made years ago by one of our favorite students in Headwater history named Adam Frater. I don't see him much, but once in a while he calls me every 2 or 3 years and says, Tim, I want to come and see the place, and he shows up, and man, we love that guy. So if you're listening to this, Adam, thank you. This pond has taken a life of its own. It's got tulies growing up in it that we planted from the Hammond Lake. It's got beautiful trees growing all around it. It's full of wildlife, all kinds of frogs and toads and salamanders, and little fishes are in here, and the aquatic insects. And it's like a welcoming. You walk down into the camp, you see this water, this beautiful water, and it welcomes you. And it's got Adam Frater's energy in it. He gifted this to the camp, and we all benefit from it. His medicine is in this land from this creation. We had this incredible teacher that came. We graduated 3 classes of hers. Sandy Schneider, 3 classes of hers did rite of passages here. They've cleaned this out many times and made it healthy and better. It was just an incredible thing what they did. All those kids, their energy's in it. Now we walk along. And you see this beautiful rock painted with love on it. Now I know that word gets thrown around, folks, but really, there's nothing more powerful in the world than love. It's when human beings are at our best, we come from love. And that's a reminder of how important that is. And to never forget it, especially through these difficult times that so many of us are going through. And as we look to the right, we're going to see some of this beautiful stone. Come on down here. This is an area Julie worked on making. And you can see there's this cut stone, which was all gifted to me by an incredible man up here who works with rock. And then we have our cut stone walkway. So you can literally walk through the water. Watch, I'll show you. It's pretty cool. Hopefully I won't fall on my butt. If I do, you didn't see it.
Edit.
Wonderful bench, because we like to remind you to stop and sit and enjoy the space that you're in. Around here, with another view of the pond. One of our dogs, our new dog, Colin, is enjoying the pond. We love this guy. He's a good boy. So I wanted to say now, this creek here goes on down, and it flows on down past one of our other talks recently we had, this incredible shelter Julie's making in this beautiful area that's turned into like a mini pond that our twins made this year. So all these little different waterways and paths lead to more incredible space. Now we're going to come back up through here. I marvel alone at this man who was able to cut these rocks. I mean, it's just amazing. And the elders in every culture in the world, they'll always tell you the greatest stories are in the rocks. Look at this beautiful art piece Julie made here with the buffalo carved in the soapstone. And I call this beautiful piece of wood my howling coyote. What an incredible thing. Early on, I put that coyote up and there wasn't one tree around it. Now look. When you work with land and caretake it, You let the land speak to you and tell you what it wants. And then you add your own part to that. But you work in cooperation with the land. You don't just control it and take it over. It's a partnership. And that's very important. Now I want to show you one more thing for this particular walk. And again, the trails are lined with stones. Every student along the years put a stone in here. There's a story behind it. These old stumps. I look up here, it's a little bright, but hopefully you can see it. There's a nature sculpture with two wild looking pieces of driftwood dancing together, talking together. You get to make your own interpretation. That's part of the beauty of it. We can all be right. I can see it one way, Julie another, Jean another, Tom another, and it's all right because it speaks to us in its own unique way. Now, one of my favorite things ever, we used to have a student here who became a teacher named Walter Millicent. And he went way up on the hill up here. I don't know how he did it. I think he must be an alien. He must have manifested them or something, or what do you call it, levitated them. And he brought these rocks down here and made this bridge. Just come and look at it. It's truly one of the most beautiful things on this land. I mean, I marvel at this. Not only how well built it is, but what it took for him to get the rocks here on his own and to build it up. And it's been here for, I don't know, 20 years almost. And this is one of the waterways that runs under it that comes from our sacred sweat lodge. So I'm going to finish right here. We'll pick it up next time at Lizard Gulch. All right, we're back. We're about to enter Lizard Gulch now on one of our Tim walks. And Lizard Gulch is an amazing space. It's a big, rocky area, and we do not lack rocks on this land. And being an Irishman, I got to tell you, rocks speak to me, every one of them. We Irish love rocks. And this is our rock area. Now, originally, this used to be a flood zone. Twice in the years that I've been here at Headwaters, this whole area has been solid water, a river. At once, after a sweat lodge, we had a flash flood from a quick lightning storm, and literally it was 2 feet of water here. But in general, that doesn't happen, and you just get to enjoy these immensely beautiful rocks. Everyone has its own story. Follow me down this incredible trail, which is partially made by us and partially by flooding water. And anytime you come into new places like this, feel the change. You come out of a woods to a meadow, stop for a second and feel the energy shift from the meadow to the woods. You come to a creek, stop and feel the energy shift. You walk down a creek, you go to a rapid, you go to a pool, stop and feel the energy shift. You see a big, beautiful tree like this one up here. Stop, feel the energy shift. And with trees, with anything really, open your heart up and let them come into you, and they'll tell you their story. This tree here that you're looking at, we'll get close to it later. It has a story to tell. When I first got this land, I lived in Santa Cruz, and I used to come up once or twice a month, and I was concerned about the land being messed around with by people. That tree would always tell me while I was in Santa Cruz what was happening here. One time I had somebody shoot a deer, it told me. One time somebody tore our sweat lodge down, it told me. It always let me know what was going on. Good, bad, or ugly, it would let me know. And to this day, I have a very special relationship with it. It's a ponderosa pine. It has a nice split at the top, and it's just wonderful. Now come on down the trail. I like trails to wind and to twist and to not always be easy to walk on, because it forces you to stop and contemplate and to think and to feel and be one with the moment. So if our videographer falls, understand.
Be at one with it.
All right, you got to see this spot because someday it's going to be changed. Julie's doing an art piece here. She found this incredible old horse head, and she's doing a painting on it. And the painting is a vision I had when I was coming out of my surgery, my heart surgery, about 5 months ago. It was really profound for me. So we're going to get one of our cut stones from that stone cutter. We're going to put it in this spot. We're going to put that horse head on here. It'll be a beautiful work of nature art. Should be done soon. More reason for you to get up here and see it, okay? Now as we come down here, you're going to notice this gorgeous, gorgeous, what's the name of that?
Ceanothus.
Ceanothus. Oh my God, you have to get your head in it.
Smell it.
It could be the best smell I've ever smelled. I think the bees agree.
There's a lizard guy. Lizard Gulch.
You got a lizard right on there. Very cool. Oh yeah, look at him.
He's a poser.
Yeah, he's wanting to get in the shot. I could spend days just hanging out with blue belly lizards, man. They are the greatest dudes. I love them. All right, notice this circle on the left here.
Oop, hang on.
This is a space where people love to come and sleep and camp out. We have circles, dances here, talks, things like that, gatherings. This was made, gosh, probably 15 years ago by a group of 80 men who were in a men's group of mine. They created this space, and they left their medicine here forever. And it's just an amazing space. I thank them every day I come in here. And so many people have stories to tell from their time here. Conversations, talks, visions, dreams, hopes. And again, the creek's going by. Always the water on this land, guys. The water is truly a gift on this land. All right, we're going to wind back through here. You'll notice a lot of rock cairns here, these stacked rocks. That's a really good meditation, guys, is to go out in nature and stack rocks. If you can learn to feel and communicate with rocks, then you know you've arrived. It's like you're getting to what we call the top of the mountain. It takes time, open heart, a firm belief that it's possible, that rocks can talk. And one way to do it is to work with them, stack them, build walls, build cairns. If you see a rock like this along here, you could look at a few different rocks. You could go, wow, this guy's laying down, but look, what if I did this? And all of a sudden, you get to see how gorgeous that rock is with that shape. Okay, down the trail we'll go. You got to see this bench. I got this piece of wood from a logger I knew 25 years ago in Santa Cruz. And he was a really good logger. He did it in a very ethical way. And he gave me this piece of wood. It was a center cut from an old, gnarly, old growth redwood. And look at that pattern from the tree. And now it's just a bench and just a thing of beauty on its own. It enhances this space. And who knows the stories people have to tell from just sitting on that, looking at the stone circle, looking at the blue sky, looking at the mountain, and contemplating their lives. All right, we're going to wind around here. This is part of that same creek system that comes out of our sweat lodge area. That was an old creek bed that we released some of the water, and it's been here now for 20 years. Some of our original Headwaters apprentices built this. Man, the legacy they left, the gift they gave. Now I'm going to be walking by that old growth tree that used to communicate to me in Santa Cruz what was going on here. Guys, here's one of the most important things you can ever do. Trees need to be loved. And these ponderosas smell so good. The bark sap smells like pineapple. One thing I'll tell you, I'm holding it, I'm feeling it, I'm smelling it, tasting it, I'm looking at it. The patterns are like a puzzle. Your senses, in the nature way, we like to be reminded that your senses are windows to your soul, to your deeper awareness. Each sense is a doorway to powerful places awaiting to be awakened within you. Don't ever doubt it. Let them lead you. Let your senses be your guide. Thank you very much. The next time we get together, we're going to our big creek, Dale Creek. And remember, let your senses be your guide to your higher self. You deserve it. Oh. All right, guys. Here we are. When I first found this land, I was looking for a sign. I'd been looking all over for a piece of land. And I needed a sign. I'm one of those people, I just need a sign. And I came onto this creek. It's called Dale Creek. I'd love to know the history of that name. Who was Dale? Or was it Mr. Dale or Mrs. Dale? And Dale Creek, it runs all year from 6 miles up out of Mount Eddy and 3 lakes up there. Cliff Lake, Dobkins Lake, and Durney Lake. It's pure water. We drink it every single day. So I was already looking for that sign. I was pretty sold on, wow, I wanted water. This is pretty awesome. And when I found this land, we've been 5 years into a major drought in California, and the water was still running like crazy here. I walk out onto the creek. I had a red-tailed hawk back then who was a bird that I'd rescued, and I talked to literally hundreds of thousands of people with that bird about the plight of birds of prey in the world. And I had a power animal that was a hawk, red-tailed. I look up the creek, and there's a center tail feather, the only one on the bird, floating down. A wild hawk had dropped it for me. And I saw the water, and then I looked up in a tree, and I know you think it's crazy, but I saw this earth spirit. I call him the Earth Keeper, and he smiled at me. And then I looked over at the realtor, and I had 2 really good friends with me. And I said, let's buy the land. And by the end of the day, we bought the land. That's where it all began here, guys. This is Dale Creek. Now I want to stand around the back here. The other story that's left on this land many times over is from our dogs. I don't know if I've taken you through I have taken you through our area where our dogs are. This was one of our first dogs that found the land with me early on. His name was Bear. He's a golden retriever. Man, is he amazing. This was Bear's favorite spot to lay. So we built this really informal spot for people to sit. And I used to call Bear the God dog, you know. You know, if you spell dog backwards, it's the word God. He was a true God. Bear used to find people that needed healing work. And then he would come and tell me, and then I would go work with them. We worked in partnership that way. It brings kind of tears to my eyes because I just discovered that accidentally, and he would always find it, and it would work. He knew the people that needed it, and he'd just come and tell me. And then we worked together on it. That's one of the great things that ever happened in my life is that. Now, the last thing I want to take you on this little walk, I want to take you up to our little pool. This is like May 3rd today, and we're in the middle of all the snow melting. There's water everywhere. We got water, creeks going everywhere. You can't believe it. Everybody, I just want to say, hope you can hear me. The water's loud. This pool, you talk about the stories. We built this with this beautiful dam. It's right below our kitchen. And this is a congress point for everybody in our camp. I get in here every day right now. I think I'm crazy. I can only last like 10 seconds, but it's worth it. So many people, I think their lives have literally been changed by being able to just get into this water and sit here. It's such a gift. Right below our kitchen, good food, good water, mountain view. What more can you ask? And it's all looked after by this old growth cedar tree right here. Old growth cedar tree. And if you look at this across from the pool, you'll see there's another cedar there. That tree, we almost lost it about 12 years ago, give or take. It started to die. And we had this great student here named Shahar from Israel, one of our best friends. He dedicated a portion of his life to saving that tree. He would meditate in it every day and try to heal it. And look at it now, it's doing great. It's a little gnarled, but it's doing great. Last thing I'll say on this. You have to get in water in the wilderness in the land. Whether it's the ocean, a creek, a lake, getting into water is something you have to do. That creates incredible medicine. It changes lives. You have to get into water. And a little secret, if it's safe and acceptable, get your clothes off and get in the water. That's even better. I'll cut out for now, and I'll see you on the next walk. Ho!